morning, everyone, and welcome to your Sunday, July 28th edition of Wasatch Weekends. I'm your in-studio host, Julio Garcia, and I'll be joining you today with lots of information and lots happening on today's show. We're catching up with Executive Director of Summit County Health, Phil Bondurant. We're going to go into the kitchen and show you a delicious breakfast bowl, and we're also going to have a very interesting conversation with our friends at Yelp about artificial intelligence and how you can use it for your next home improvement project. All this and much more coming up on Wasatch Weekends, but first, let's take a look at your local weather forecast. Welcome back to Wasatch Weekends. We recently had the opportunity to catch up with Summit County Health Department and speak with their Executive Director, Dr. Phil Bondurant, who gave us some important updates about all things vaccines, mental health, and lots of other things happening over at the Health Department. Let's take a look. Summer is in full swing, and as we continue to enjoy all the fun and outdoor activities in our community, it is also important to continue to stay safe, healthy, and informed. And if you didn't know, the Summit County Health Department has a monthly newsletter with tons of great information and resources. And to give us a little bit of a summary and a couple updates of what we can expect in this month's newsletter, we have joining us the Executive Director of the Summit County Health Department, Dr. Phil Bondurant. Doctor, thank you so much for joining us. Always a pleasure speaking to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Lots of things happening in and about the community, but also lots of things happening at the health department with the newsletter, lots of really useful information. So tell me a little bit about what is this newsletter and kind of what can we typically expect?
Yeah, I think appreciate you highlighting that and the efforts of the department here to spread that information with the community. It's a newsletter focused specifically on all the good things that local public health in Summit County is doing. And I would venture a guess that most people that are reading it would be surprised at how involved the Summit County Health Department is as we talk about everything from sustainability and food waste through vaccinations to protecting yourself in the sun and your skin health and all those various things that the local health department is interested in.
Absolutely, and lots of useful information for the entire community to stay informed and to stay healthy, which I think, is kind of the ultimate goal. Now, we all want to be healthy and continue enjoying everything in our community. You mentioned sustainability and kind of the food waste efforts, and I know one of the highlights on this month's newsletter, Doctor, is the Zero Food Waste Compact. Tell me a little bit about that program.
Yeah, that's it's a unique program specific to Summit County. And our sustainability department and our sustainability manager, Emily Quinton, is directly involved in the Park City Community Foundation's focus on the Zero Food Waste Initiative. And just as the title would indicate, it's a program intended to divert food waste from our landfill here in Summit County and put it into different places where the space in the landfill is not being taken up by food. So similar to what you might experience with recycling, it's curbside pickup for food waste, whether it's a business with our restaurants or at the home. We're trying to divert that waste away from the landfill, use it in a capacity that's more environmentally sustainable, and focus that landfill space on those things in which we can't really divert from that space.
Yeah, absolutely. A very cool program, and I always think we can always improve our sustainability efforts just a little bit, even if that means, recycling a little bit more or participating in the program such as the Zero Waste Compact and kind of divert some of those waste, some of that waste as you mentioned. So I think that's a great opportunity for everybody in the community to practice some more sustainable habits. Now, Doctor, I also know that men's mental health is highlighted in this month's newsletter. It's a very important topic. I believe June was Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so it's kind of in the topic of that and in light of that. So tell me a little bit about that and why is it such an important topic?
Yeah, mental health as a collective is important for everyone.
Yeah.
We work to improve mental health outcomes through access to care, access to resources for men, women, everyone in Summit County, children as well, the elderly. But it's not very often that you see a campaign focused directly on the mental health of men.
Right.
And our folks in the mental health realm and our professionals there have found that there's a need based on some of the data that are available to us around men's mental health. And I think that it's a unique program in that it's the only one in the state focusing on men's mental health.
Yeah.
But I love the message that is shared by these passionate professionals around mental health. It's not just, if you're not feeling right, go get checked out, but it provides specific information about some of the indicators that might be present in men as it relates to their mental health. And sometimes us as men, we try to tough it out and not be so open with our feelings and the emotions that we might be experiencing, but we still have those emotions. We still have those struggles with our mental health. And just like if you were to break a bone or have another injury, you'd seek professional help to have that health matter addressed. Your mental health is no different. You want to seek professional help to address those things. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. And I think that those that are closest to you, your family, your friends, your loved ones would, if they knew the struggles that were taking place, they would encourage you to seek professional help. And really that's what we're trying to highlight here is that get the help that we need. Let's be healthy. Our mental health, our physical health, all around, we want people to be healthy. And so we're not going to shy away from these sensitive topics.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's stated in the newsletter, Doctor, that men are more likely to seek out physical health, like you said, for physical issues, than to seek out help for emotional or mental health issues, So I think that highlighting the importance of doing so and attending to these issues like you would any other issue to really, promote our health, I think is really important.
Absolutely.
Now, Doctor, I want to kind of switch gears and talk a little bit about vaccines. I know we're still kind of in the summer, but as we start looking into back to school, into the fall time, as we approach flu season, what are some of those updates in terms of vaccinations coming up?
Yeah, as we wrap up the summer, it's hard to believe that summer, we're having a conversation about wrapping up summer, but here we are approaching the end of the end of July.
Yes.
School starts in August, and so with that comes back to school vaccinations. The state of Utah does have a list of required vaccinations that students have to be up to date on before they can enter school. So if you're unfamiliar with what those requirements are, or you're unsure as to what your child might be required as they go into a certain grade, I encourage you to contact the health department and speak with one of our nurses in our immunization program at 435-333-1500 and ask to speak about back to school vaccinations. At a busy time of year for us as we're trying to get all the kids healthy and happy, ready, headed into school so they can focus on the good stuff in school and not so much as to being sick, especially with those vaccine preventable childhood diseases.
Absolutely.
The other conversation as we enter the fall and we wrap up summer is around COVID and flu vaccines.
Right.
There's a lot of interest, a lot of discussion right now as we've seen some increase in our wastewater numbers around COVID with new variants that, the CDC has approved the newest version of the vaccine for the fall. We have placed our order at the Summit County Health Department and are on the list. We anticipate receiving that vaccine in early to mid-September, and we'll be making that available to the community when we have it through both in-person appointments, but also leveraging what we did last year with our drive-through clinics. And if 3 locations, one in Camas, one in Colville, and then one in the Park City area where individuals can drive through in the convenience of their vehicle, receive a COVID shot, a flu shot, or both, and be on their way quick, 15 minutes at max. And then you have that protection for the fall and winter as we jump into those seasons where traditionally we've seen higher cases of flu and COVID.
Yeah. Important to stay up to date on those vaccinations, whether it's for your children that are heading back to school or for yourself and your family as we approach flu and COVID season, and more in the fall time, kind of when we tend to see some of those numbers tick up. A couple different options there available through the Summit County Health Department. And as Dr. Phil Bondurant stated, you can always contact them directly at 435-333-1500 for any services, really, Doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. We love to hear from the community. We just revamped our website to make it easier to read, easier to navigate. And so whether you're using the website to get that information or you want to call and talk with one of our wonderful front desk individuals, we're happy to hear from you. We're happy to help you. And if we don't have the answer, we can definitely get you in touch with the people that do.
Absolutely. Dr. Bondurant, if folks are not yet subscribed to this monthly newsletter that contains all of the information we talked about, but also so much more, how can they go about subscribing?
Yeah, just head to that website, summitcountyhealth.org, and you'll see right under the administrative tab, click for the newsletter, enter your email address, and we would be happy to share this information with anyone and everyone once a month as it comes out. The staff do put a lot of time and energy into this to make the information relevant and timely. And we promise if you'll take the time to read it, you'll have a better understanding of what we're focusing on for that time frame and that month as it relates to public health.
Absolutely. And I love on there too those summer tips for swimming and for staying safe in the sun, because it's very relevant, to this time of year, and just ensuring the entire community stays safe as we continue enjoying all the summer activities. So definitely check them out. Subscribe to the newsletter by visiting the website or get contact directly at their phone number for any other health needs. And Doctor, as always, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely. We'll see you soon. And we're going to take a short break, but we'll be back with more of the show right after this. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, if you're anything like me, you love a good breakfast meal, and our very own Kimberly Perot, who loves to cook delicious recipes in the kitchen, has got us covered with a delicious breakfast bowl that you're definitely going to want to add it to your morning routine. Let's take a look at this delicious recipe.
Now it is breakfast time, and you know what that means. I am looking for a healthy way to fuel my body throughout the day, but also still make it hearty and delicious, especially if you plan to get out on the mountain, whether it's hiking, biking, and skiing in the wintertime and beyond. So one of the things that I like to do is look for quick and easy yet delicious meals. So we're gonna go ahead and make a breakfast bowl. It's going to be so easy to assemble, and then we're popping it into the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes or so. We've got several different ingredients, and you can mix and match with what you like, but believe it or not, we've got frozen tater tots, chorizo. You can pick a regular chorizo if you want, but really any kind of breakfast meat. If you're looking for more of a lower calorie option, Morningstar has a veggie chorizo, which is also a really good thing to add into this breakfast bowl. Shredded cheese. We've got liquid egg whites. So you can do egg beaters, but you can also do it as an original egg white as well, which is just as easy to do. You don't have to crack eggs. It makes it less messy. And then season as you wish. So we've got garlic powder, some salt. If you like some pepper, you can throw that on. But I'm going to go ahead and show you how to assemble this breakfast bowl that we will be putting in the oven. You can meal prep a bunch for the whole week, and then you're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I've got my egg beaters here. I'm going to go open my egg beaters. And now, depending on the size of your bowl, if you're doing a little bit of a smaller bowl, I would do about a half of cup. If you're doing a larger bowl like we are, I would do about 3/4 of a cup of these liquid egg beaters. So I'm going to just pour it in here, about 3/4 of a cup. Nice and easy, just like that. And just pour it in. I'm always on the search for a delicious but healthy breakfast meal, because scrambled eggs every morning can be a little boring sometimes as we're working through that. So I poured my liquid egg whites in, and then I'm going to add just a little bit of salt on my own measuring. So whatever you prefer, I'm going to do just a couple dashes here. Again, it doesn't matter what kind of salt. We like the pink Himalayan sea salt here in the studio. I think it's just a delicious extra added flavor to it. Then some garlic powder. I do light garlic powder, believe it or not, in my breakfast bowls. It just adds a little extra depth and layering to the flavor. We're going to take a spoon and just stir those seasonings up just like that. Now, you don't have to put too much spice if you're using just traditional chorizo in your bowl. We sauteed some of this up earlier just to make it nice and browned. It'll add a little bit of spice to it. Now, if you're being very specific, you can always count your macros to add this in. And if you wanted to do about, I don't know, a fourth of a cup, but I'm just gonna spoon a little bit into my breakfast bowl right here. I'm just gonna mix that around just like that. I'll do about 2 spoonfuls just to keep it light. Oh, I can't wait to try this. This is gonna be so delicious this morning. And then we're gonna take our shredded cheddar cheese. So it really doesn't matter if you are trying to be calorie conscious, you can always use a reduced fat. Sometimes people think that's not the best for you, but if you're really watching your calories, I say the less is better no matter what you're doing, and as long as you're properly fueling your body. So we're just gonna take a little bit of this shredded cheese. Now this is a triple cheddar blend. I like to have as many layered flavors into my meals as possible in the best and easiest way possible. So we'll just add a little more cheese because why not? We've got that cheese sprinkled into our breakfast bowl. Next we're gonna do, things are falling over all over the place here in the kitchen. Now we're gonna add some tater tots. And yes, you may say tater tots, that's not very healthy. Well, that's okay. We can add just a few. It's not like we're going to be eating an entire basket full that you may get at a restaurant. We're gonna add just a few of these and just frozen tater tots, fresh out of the freezer section. I'm gonna put about 6 in here. So just stick them into your breakfast bowl just like that. I've got 3. You could do maybe 5 if you wanted to, but we're gonna add 6 because this is a little bit of a larger serving. Awesome, okay. As you can see it looks wonderful. What we're gonna do is we'll pop it into the oven and then we'll let it bake. It'll bake for about 20 minutes on 350. They're quite delicious. Once you pull them out, they'll be ready to go. You'll be fueled for the day. Lots happening to get your day started. And I know I'm gonna be heating this up and definitely eating it when we are finished with the show. So, any kind of breakfast bowl that you want to make. But I like the chorizo with the tater tots, a little bit of the cheese, and this still feels like a delicious and indulgent meal, even though it is quite good for you and high in protein. So if you want more recipes, make sure that you like and follow along on our Instagram and our Facebook pages. We'll share all of these recipes if you're interested. We'll be right back after this.
Welcome back to the show, everyone. Now, it seems like artificial intelligence is slowly becoming part of our lives, and our friends over at Yelp have a new feature that's going to help you use artificial intelligence on your next home improvement project. Let's learn what this is all about and take a look at this interesting conversation.
Welcome back to the show. Now, AI has made a big breakthrough, and we're joined by trend expert Tara Lewis. Good morning, Tara.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Wonderful. Thank you.
Now, AI is something that's very quickly growing and expanding, and you've got some great tips and tricks on how AI can help consumers.
Yes. So to help people connect with businesses, we're excited to announce Yelp Assistant, a new conversational AI feature to guide you through the process of finding the right service professionals. Powered by large language models, or maybe you've heard of it called LLMs, Yelp Assistant intelligently helps you to alleviate the guesswork on the types of specialists you might need for any project, making the hiring process straightforward and stress-free.
What's a great example of how the Yelp Assistant has already started helping consumers?
Yeah. So one example, I was just actually talking to someone recently about looking for a pet groomer to groom their dog. They had a Pomeranian, and you're able to then go into Yelp Assistant through the app, engage in this conversation via chat, powered by AI and all the data that we have to best connect with service professionals. So maybe it's the dog breed, the size, maybe you're looking for a mobile groomer. All of those answers that you're providing will help Yelp Assistant connect you with the right service professionals in your area to find the perfect fit for whatever you're looking for.
And how can the Yelp Assistant help you in your everyday life and find those on-trend professionals?
Yeah, well, as I mentioned, Yelp Assistant can help connect you to any sort of service professional. But we just recently released our summer home and outdoor trends report, which of course revealed all of our top trends, which we noticed that home renovations are driving a lot of these trends. We found that ambient lighting is trending, so people are searching for light dimmers, which is up 500% in searches. Warm lighting is up 200% in Yelp searches. We've also noticed that people are remodeling their bathrooms quite a bit, and they're looking for luxury self-care at home experience, almost like spa-like amenities in their bathroom upgrades. We've seen an increase in searches for plunge tubs, as well as steam rooms and at-home sauna installations. There's also been an increase in gardening on Yelp. People are creating sensory gardens to entice the senses, looking for fragrant plants like lavender and rosemary to plant in their gardens, as well as water fountains to install so you can hear these calming sounds. We've also noticed that people are looking for retro revival. They're looking for vintage furniture decor, as well as upholstering old furniture to have really unique antique and vintage vibes in their households. And of course, customization is always up and coming as a trend. We've seen an increase in searches for custom curtains and custom doors, even custom closet systems for organization. So you can hire a organization professional through Yelp Assistant quite easily and have a remake of your current wardrobe and how that's laid out for you.
The plethora of options are endless using the Yelp Assistant. Now, these are so many great tips that you've given us and so many great ideas to maybe inspire people at home to step up their house game. What else can the Yelp Assistant do for consumers?
Yeah, I think it's really important to make note that Yelp is a very trusted resource with so much wonderful content and so many great reviews. And Yelp Assistant is using that data that we have about local businesses in your area to make the right fit for you. It's so important that you are informed and have all the information you need before making any purchase decisions or spending your money. So Yelp is helping you have all the information that you need about the service professionals. Even if you don't know the scope of work yet yourself, Yelp Assistant can help you with that.
Now, are there other benefits of using the Yelp Assistant as you're going through the steps and kind of exploring the Yelp app?
Yeah, I think, in terms of the range of different service professionals that you can connect with is really quite expansive. We've talked a lot about home renovations, but even I'm going on vacation soon, and I was able to look up a hair braider in my area. It asked me interesting questions about the length of hair I would like, how long would I like the braids to last, what area am I in, so they can best connect me. So I think what's important to consider is not only do you have the most trusted information that you're being provided with, but you can use it for such a range of different services that can enhance your life.
And where can people go for more information so that they can have the Yelp Assistant right there with them as they're making all of these great decisions?
Yeah, all you have to do is go to yelp.com or download the Yelp app. It's quite easy and free as well.
Tara, thank you so much for giving us all this great information, and thank you for expanding all of our knowledge on the power of Yelp and the new AI assistant.
Thank you so much for having me.
Make sure that you download the Yelp app. That way you can use the Yelp Assistant right at the touch of your fingers. That way you are in the best hands as you're looking for on-trend professionals, or maybe you want to try something new. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we've got more of the show, so stay tuned.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a wrap for your Sunday, July 28th edition of Wasatch Weekends. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we hope you get on out there and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm your in-studio host, Julio Garcia, signing off. With lots happening on today's show, we had the opportunity to catch up with Summit County Health Department, an interesting conversation about artificial intelligence, as well as a delicious breakfast bowl. So we hope you continue enjoying your weekend, and we'll see you here on the next episode of Wasatch Weekends.